Project management plan development is the process of creating an integrated project management plan. What do we mean when we use the word integrated? Integrated essentially means that you are bringing together a lot of documents to form the project management plan. As we explained earlier, every knowledge area has a planning document. In scope management, you have a document to plan the scope. You have a document to plan the schedule, plan the cost, plan quality, resource, communication, risk, procurement, stakeholder. You have a document to plan all of each one of them have their planning documents or documents. Yeah, some of them have more than one. So all of the planning documents for all the knowledge areas are coming together to form the project management plan. So that's why we call it integrated, because it's actually an amalgamation of several documents. So a great number of activities and documents come together to create this plan. Ultimately, the project management plan becomes a baseline to measure any performance against. What do we mean by this? If we remember, we said when you are planning a project, you are coming up with a set of guidelines that you want to follow when you're executing the project, that you want to follow when you're monitoring and controlling the project, that you want to follow when you are closing the project. This means that when you are executing the project, you are executing in relation to the plan of how you will execute. When you are monitoring and controlling activities on a project, you are monitoring and controlling in relation to how you plan to monitor and control. When you are closing the project, you are closing in relation to how you planned to close the project. So that's what we mean when we say it's a baseline from which you measure performance. How are you measuring performance? You have planned how you will execute. As you're executing, you are trying to execute in relation to how you plan. In relation to how you plan. So what this means is your plan is that measurement that you use to determine whether you are executing well or not. So that's what we mean by it is the baseline to measure performance against. You have what you planned, and you also have the reality, that is what you executed. When you want to marking in quotes now, when you want to evaluate how you executed, you are going to evaluate in relation to what you said you wanted to do in the plan. It's just like when you want to mark a script. Let's say you're a lecturer in an institute, in a university, in a higher institution. You have your marking scheme, and then you have the reality, maybe the scripts that the student used to answer the questions. The answering of questions here is the execution for that student. He's carrying out, he's actually solving the questions. The marking scheme there is the plan. So the plan here is the marking scheme, which is the plan in this case now, is the baseline to measure performance against. Is the baseline that will be used to mark performance of the students in the exam. So the project management plan is the baseline used to measure performance when you're executing, when you're monitoring and controlling and doing every other set of processes and activities.